This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Let's welcome in our guy, Tom Murphy, to the show this morning. Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Tom, we got plenty of discussion on the upcoming schedule this year. And your colleague, Matt Jones, was asking Hunter about the A&M game next year, and he told him it's not 100%, and I was kind of surprised by that. What are your thoughts? Do you think they play the Aggies in Jerry World next year?
Yeah, morning, Ty. Tommy, good to be with you guys. It's funny, I was talking to Matt yesterday about that, and I'm like, the SEC's not going to drop A&M off the schedule. I mean, of all the games, if you look at, say, clean slate, so to speak, but you know Arkansas is going to play Missouri, and you know that game's going to be in Fayetteville. What other like quote contracts are on the books? Oh, Arkansas A&M is on the books. They're not going to drop that game. I mean, okay, maybe the SEC has told all the ADs, look, guys, you know, you can't count on anything, whatever they told them. But still, this is a long-running series, and it's contractual. And so I know the SEC can come in and do whatever, but I can't see the game going away. Now, hey, Alabama game, yeah, I can see that one going away. Auburn, yeah, maybe. But it's going to be a breath of fresh air, in my view, that you got two new teams coming into the league, and you know Arkansas is going to wind up with, you know, one of them probably, or maybe both. And I don't know. It's 2024 is going to have just such a fresh, different look to it. I can't wait to see it. Yeah,
and I'm going to be honest, Tom, even though it's gone horrid for you in Jerry World the past decade or so, I'd rather play in Jerry World as the visiting team than going to Athens or going to Knoxville or something like that if I'm an Arkansas fan, because I would think that if they do schedule that game next year, you're going to be in that final season as the away team since you're the home team this year.
Exactly, and yeah, and why wouldn't you want to have that wouldn't you prefer a neutral site for a road game?
100%.
Absolutely. So, and here's the thing about that series. When you think about Arkansas football for the last, dozen years, they won the 3 in a row over the Aggies before they came in the league with Bobby Petrino. One of them was tight. But I don't think any particular series maybe highlights the frustration of the last decade more than that series. Even the Chad Morris years, both of them were touchdown or less games. The Brett Bielema years, A&M had, quote, the better team, a lot of those, but Arkansas had big leads in the overtime games, and it's just a level of frustration that's hard to encapsulate. I mean, to the point that Brett Bielema said he wanted to punch Kevin Sumlin and said it out loud. That's the level of frustration that the Aggies dealt Arkansas football.
Tom, I'll be interested, next Thursday night, whether Oklahoma and Texas or one of the others show up on the schedule. I can't imagine they're going to bring those two teams into the league, and Arkansas plays neither one in that first year.
Exactly, and that's why, I think Texas would be a natural to show up on the schedule that year, and possibly even both of them. And, I don't know if the particulars are going to work out that they can do that, but I don't think there's any way that those two teams come on board and Arkansas doesn't play one.
Yeah, and I when we find out next Thursday, we were kind of joking about this off the air, but of the I guess it will be 16 fan bases and the 14 existing ones, how many of them are going to think they got a raw deal, the short end of the stick? I can tell you, Arkansas fans and the ones we've heard from already, they're just convinced you're going to play Georgia and Bama twice, both on the road. All four of those. I mean, everyone is just bracing themselves that they think they're going to get the shaft from the conference office on this.
Well, I mean, what are they used to? They're used to that, and I thought no other team got it worse than Arkansas. And then here's the thing, in 2020 they've come off 2 struggle years, and then the conference office deals them that, and it was just a slap in the face that Dari Nokla, as they're announcing the deal, and like some teams are going to say they got it bad, but that's just the way overall look at the schedule. No, Arkansas. You got Georgia at home to open your season, and you got on the road at Florida, and they weren't like they are now. I mean, they were considered a very strong team at that point. and it doesn't have drop-offs for very long, it doesn't seem. So I don't know. I saw a projection yesterday that had Vanderbilt, lo and behold, on Arkansas' schedule. And maybe, just maybe, they'll wind up with Vanderbilt or Kentucky or South Carolina again. But who knows? I would expect the worst, and if it's not the worst, then maybe that's pretty good.
But I can't get on board either with the fan that wants to play Missouri, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. Hey, let's make sure we get the 4 laydowns, or easier teams, and they haven't been laydowns for Arkansas by any stretch. But I can't get on board with that. Hey, I want the easiest route either.
Even on the road, Tommy? You don't want those games on the road? I get it at home, but road, yeah.
I just think it's if you're always looking for the easy way out in a league like this, guys, isn't that loser talk a little bit? I don't want to play the best. I want to avoid these teams, and I don't want to prove how good I am. Isn't that a little bit loser talk?
I get entirely what you're saying, Tommy. I get that. But when you've been dealt Florida and Georgia, maybe just a little bit of easing up. I mean, if LSU remains on the schedule and Ole Miss and you get Oklahoma or Texas and A&M and Missouri, that's a very quality schedule. So maybe you could throw a Vandy on there. So you know what? No, you don't want to load your schedule up complete with Vanderbilt, Missouri, Kentucky, and South Carolina. No. But to get 1 or 2 of those, yes.
We're talking with Tom Murphy this morning, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Whole Hog Sports. Tom, it sure seemed like that Nick Saban outpowered Greg Sankey these last few weeks based on the 8-game, 9-game conversation. Is that your read on what went down at the spring meetings in the last couple of days leading up to the decision in 2024?
That is not my read. Nick Saban made his opinion felt and heard. And I get it, they had, quote, the suspected matchups. They had LSU and Auburn, and who was the third team? It was a difficult Tennessee. Yeah, so tough trio for them. And so here's the most powerful coach in the conference talking about, a tough schedule. So Arkansas fans are not alone in that, and I don't think he overpowered Greg Sankey. I think that there were enough teams like Arkansas and Kentucky and South Carolina that felt like, hey, if we're not going to get more money from ESPN to add a conference game, why should we hammer ourselves with another tough prep? And by the way, when this playoff opens up, you talk about looking out for player welfare and safety and health and all that. Adding more rounds, more layers of scheduling and difficult opponents doesn't help in that regard. So, yeah, players are being compensated. Yeah, their health is, quote, focused on more than ever before. But adding a game when you're not going to be compensated for it, when some of these teams are going to need another win to get bowl eligible, and I don't know who they are, but some of them are. I just think that the numerics worked in the favor of the schools that wanted to stay at 8 games. And I guess in this scenario, Nick Saban had a way to get that done in the favor of what he wanted. And the financial aspect of it was playing into it as well.
The Alabamas and the Georgias of this league aren't going to have any problem getting in the playoffs, whether it's 8 or 9 games. It's that 4th team that you're trying to sneak into the new 12-team format that, is not having that 9th league game and their strength of schedule going to cost them when compared to the 4th team in the Big Ten. That's the thing the league's going to have to figure out, because everyone talks about a 9th game as almost like it's an extra game on the schedule. From ESPN's perspective, that's not any more games for them to televise. It's just a higher quality game, and I don't know how you put a value on that in regards to what that means per school, Tom, because this isn't like it's an extra game on the schedule. It's just one better game in place of a non-con game, which has its own ripple effect. So, there's business, there's playoffs, there's a lot at play, and I just don't see the big edge to going to 9 right away till you really kind of see how this 12-team deal is going to work out.
Well, I get your point, and the SEC is going to have a strong enough strength of schedule, even if it's 8 games for 24, and really, honestly, I don't see 25. I see 25 is changing the schedule format. I think it's going to be a one-year deal, but I don't know that for certain. But I just don't think the SEC is going to run into trouble getting a third team or a fourth team in the playoffs based on strength of schedule in 24. Well, when the playoff expands, if they happen to have stuck with 8, I don't think they're going to have trouble if you have a Western Kentucky or a Nevada on your schedule as opposed to, a ninth game against another conference opponent. But who knows? I don't think recruiting is going to start changing for SEC teams or the NIL. All those things, the SEC is on the cutting edge. Even if super conferences crop up at the Big Ten or whatever, I just don't think it's going to change because the passion of football in the South.
Tom, we'll leave it there this morning, man. We appreciate you jumping on with us and excited to get more into what Arkansas' schedule could be next Tuesday before it happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's talk about it some more then. Thanks.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your championship finals info, stats, news, and scores. Get the latest odds and the latest matchup reports for this year's NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. BetOnline is your sports intel headquarters this season, as we have you covered for all your insider sports wagering needs, from baseball and hockey to MLB, UFC, and boxing. The fastest and easiest way to get all your betting info, including live betting options and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your home. Get in the action today. Head over to our website or use your mobile device to join, and be sure to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive 50% bonus on your first deposit. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.